Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC 20 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today we're trying out a really fun team with Weavile, Coalossal, and Virizion. Now we've gone up against similar cores with Sneasel and Cobalion for example, but I really wanted to try this one out because it features Virizion. Virizion specifically is a really interesting Pokemon. It was terrible in Series 5 because almost all of the Pokemon in the top 10 countered it really hard. For example, Togekiss with Max Airstream, Cinderace and Dragapult with Max Airstream, Incineroar, Torkoal just being Fire Pokemon, and Venusaur with Max Ooze/Sludge Bomb. So none of those were good to go up against, but with all of those eliminated in the format and with Rillaboom no longer existing, Virizion actually ends up being a really good Grass-type Pokemon to support Coalossal and beat some of the biggest threats to Coalossal. Because, of course, normally if you want to beat Coalossal, you're going to use Water and Ground-type Pokemon. What makes this really scary is that our opponents have to prepare for not only the Weavile and Coalossal lead, but the Weavile and the Virizion lead as well. If they call it incorrectly, it often puts us in a really, really advantageous position. So, yeah. Obviously, you've seen Coalossal many times, so you don't need me to explain what it does, but still very, very strong, especially with it winning the Players' Cup Finals recently. It is truly a big threat you have to watch out for. The rest of the team, pretty fun stuff as well. Assault Vest Primarina with Energy Ball. So, Primarina, just one of the best Pokemon out right now. And this is the Hydro Cannon set as well, so you can do really powerful damage with Max Geyser if you decide to Dynamax Primarina. The Energy Ball also covers bulky waters, especially Gastrodon. Ferrothorn, standard set, but with Power Whip instead of something like Leech Seed. So you're able to, once again, hit these Water-type Pokemon and Ground-type Pokemon, like give Coalossal trouble. And finally, Dusclops. This Dusclops is able to set up Trick Room, but also allows you to Bulldoze the Coalossal, so you don't necessarily need to use Coalossal out of Trick Room, and you can even use it under Trick Room, which a lot of players often don't expect. So, this is a rental team, as you can see. It was built by a Korean player called Nash. I've linked him in the description below. There is a export as well as the code, so huge thanks to Nash for making this team and making it public. I think it's really fun. I've played a couple of games with it just to get used to the mechanics, and I think it is just so powerful, and I really hope we get some good Virizion games in today because it's a really cool Pokemon. So, let's jump into today's episode. Thank you as always for watching. Question of the day, completely unrelated to Pokemon because most of the recent question of the days were all related to Series 6. I'm curious if any of you are watching any good shows that you recommend right now. And I asked that specifically because I just started / am about to finish The Last Dance, which is a Netflix documentary on Michael Jordan, which I've really been enjoying. So would like to know what everyone's watching. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. I ask this every now and then, and I do really read through the comments and see what people suggest. So definitely would appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. As always, if you enjoy, please show your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you, as always, for watching Road to Ranked. It really does mean a lot. Very much appreciated. Oh, this doesn't look that fun. There's a Dracozolt. We might actually have to go Trick Room in this route, given what my opponent has. Because if you're my opponent, you could just lead Talonflame Dracozolt as a lead. So, I actually want to go with Weavile, Dusclops, Coalossal, and Primarina. Primarina looks really good against my opponent's entire team. They don't have a single resist to Fairy other than Talonflame, and Talonflame isn't really, very good against Primarina to begin with. Coalossal actually looks really good as well, so, yeah. This team doesn't necessarily need to rely on Trick Room, nor does it need to rely on you actually enabling the Steam Engine or the beat up, which is really cool. It goes to show the amount of flexibility it has. So we're going to play a little bit differently here. Obviously, setting up Trick Room while having Weavile out doesn't feel great, but I feel like I kind of need to go with this so that I can fake out Trick Room turn 1. I'm expecting Talonflame Zolt. Ooh, it's Talonflame Duraludon. Okay. Now, this gets interesting if you have, Dragon Tail on the Duraludon. Sash, Talonflame, and Policy. Interesting. Okay, good to know it's Policy. I mean, like I said, I think I just want to fake out Trick Room here. Man, I could go for a crazy play here, which is Surf and switch out. But I think fake out Trick Room here is fine. Because both Primarina and Coalossal will outspeed my opponent under Trick Room, and they're both just really good against everything my opponent brought here. The fake out is onto Talonflame because Talonflames do often carry Taunt, so we will get it off. And looks like Duraludon doesn't max, which indicates to me it's Dragon Tailing. No! Oh, okay. Actually, it didn't need to max there because you're not taking any damage onto it anyway, so that actually made a lot of sense, yeah. Okay. That's fine though, right? I get the setup I'm looking for here, which is I get Trick Room up safely. So what I want to do here is just go for Triple Axle and go for a Nightshade onto the Duraludon. As long as I chip away at it, then next turn I can bring in Coalossal, Bulldoze, Max Flare, Duraludon. And then I think Coalossal should just sweep. Yeah. Unfortunately, like, one of the only Pokemon that does give Virizion a terrible time in the meta right now is Talonflame. So we couldn't really lead with it here. They actually protect Duraludon. Okay. If Talonflame's targeting Dusclops, it's actually a really great play because you just burnt a turn of my Trick Room. So let's see. Here's Brave Bird. Yeah, on a Dusclops. Nicely done. Very nicely done. That's a great play. Yeah, you could even max Duraludon now, maybe target it down. Well done. I'm just gonna triple Axle Nightshade that slot again though. If I just hard switch into Coalossal last turn like Bulldoze, we would have won, but it's not a play I can risk right now. They don't max once again. They do have Dark Pulse, okay. But that doesn't knock us out. Okay, good. Yeah, this is fine then. Good decision making to consistently target the Duraludon though. I really like that actually. We missed triple Axle? That's not great. Okay, I feel like they're just going to protect again, so I'm actually just going to push the go button this time around and just bring in my Coalossal. You know what's really interesting? By conserving Weavile, I could surf potentially, like on the last turn of Trick Room, and enable Steam Engine. That would be really interesting. Now, this next turn is a little risky, because I know my opponent has weakness policy on Duraludon, but they've been playing so passively. Plus, Duraludon would attack first, so you would think it's going to go into Dusclops. Yeah, okay. But the thing is that I shouldn't have needed to take a risk like that. So I'm not really too content with how I've played this, to be honest. Yeah, but now I get Primarina in. Like, you probably KO'd the Dusclops. I bring in Primarina, and now I just have two major threats to my opponent's entire team. No, they actually opted for Taunt. Interesting. Taunt, Brave Bird, Tailwind, Flare Blitz. I mean, that's the standard, right? Oh, it actually is the last turn of Trick Room. Dang, if they actually gave me the switch out to Weavile, that would have been so sick. Yeah, so I didn't even activate the opposing policy, which is good. I mean, I obviously want to max here. I want to get Weavile in so that I could click Surf so badly. My opponent doesn't really have a switch into Flare. The switch in would be Dracozolt. I could see them going into Zolt, I guess. I'm just going to Vocalith because I don't think you're maxing Duraludon here and just go for a Nightshade. This is played out really weirdly. Like, my first turn of attacking under Trick Room is right now. They don't switch out, but that's fine. I think if Duraludon doesn't max here, Vocalith just picks up the KO, honestly. I could have flared, but I opted not to. They could go for an interesting play here, which is Tailwind with Talonflames, because it is the last turn of Trick Room, so then they can outspeed me afterwards. That would be interesting. They're maxing Duraludon? Wow. I should have just flared there, I guess. Would have been safer. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. This gets really interesting, though, based off what, depending on what my opponent has in the back. Oh, they just went for a max guard. That's actually uber frustrating because they literally just protected last turn. So they maxed just for the sake of trying to get a max guard off. But I think this is still fine because they just KO'd the Dusclops. Okay, that was a really bizarre max guard. I guess it works, but now I can go into Weavile and actually surf Flare. So this is what I wanted the whole time, right? To switch it into Weavile. Like, that's why the taunt earlier was surprising to me. But maybe they wanted to stop a... I was gonna say... Yeah, well, I'm gonna surf Flare here. Yeah. I wonder if Surf KOs the Talonflame. I don't think it does, but that would be funny. Yeah, there's no way it does. I feel like it would do like a decent chunk, but Talonflame would hang on with like 5%. That's my guess. Yeah, that max guard is frustrating because if I just get the Vocalith off there, I mean, Talonflame doesn't faint here, but it takes a lot of chip damage. Either way, this has been a really bizarre game, but yeah, Talonflame does hang on. But I mean, now I'm got Steam Engine off. So we somehow played a game where I set up Trick Room, got Coalossal going under Trick Room, or got the weakness policy under Trick Room, but then brought Weavile out to enable it afterwards, which you definitely do not see every day. Part of the problem, though, I guess, is right now my opponent can still just set up Tailwind. Maybe I should have KO'd Talonflame then. I mean, Talonflame will faint after rocks here. They don't opt for Tailwind, though. Huh. Okay. Well, Weavile did its job. Initially, my game plan was to sweep under... Oh, is it, Oh, we didn't Vocalith, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. So many things have been happening this game that my brain is kind of frazzled because it's played out so differently from what I expected initially. Okay, what's coming in? Urshifu. That's fine. It's Fighting Water Urshifu. So I can just okay, what in the back beats me, right? Because I think I can just Vocalith here into Urshifu and Hyper Voice. Oh, I don't need a Hyper Voice, actually. I can just Moonblast. Because the rocks are gonna KO Talonflame anyway afterwards. Okay, Urshifu protects, but that's fine. Is it fine? I guess you get Tailwind up finally, and you do get a free switch in. But what in the back beats Primarina, right? Like, Primarina should just sweep through everything. That's why I was like, if I just bring Coalossal and Primarina and play it alright with it, we should win. Yeah, they finally Tailwind. I'm surprised that didn't come out last turn. Because if it did come out last turn, I don't know, maybe it could have been more of a problem. With Sun being up, I don't even know if you KO the Coalossal here, honestly. So I obviously could have gone Vocalith into Talonflame, Moonblast into the Urshifu, which might have been better in retrospect, actually, because like Talonflame never is going to have Protect. And if Tailwind doesn't go up, I don't know. I mean, Urshifu could have close combat there and just KO'd the Coalossal. Yeah, it's Darmanitan as the last one. I don't think you really have a way to beat Primarina here. Okay, Max does end, though. If you're my opponent, like, I think I'm just going to Heat Wave here in case they get greedy and for some reason don't target Coalossal. I think just Heat Wave Moonblast here is fine. I'm going to target Urshifu because I'm worried it has Iron Head. I wonder if Darmanitan, like, just locks itself into Rock Slide here. If it's banded, that actually could be scary as well. So, if I targeted Talonflame last turn, I think we would have just had this wrapped up. But they opt for a double Protect and Rock Slide. I don't know why you go for the double there. I feel like you should just attack. Alright, they flinched the Coalossal, but we don't flinch with Primarina, so that should be fine then. Actually, if they just flinch us again next turn, we lose. I don't know why they protected with Urshifu. Like, you should just target the Coalossal slot there. Yeah, really bizarre. But yeah, I'm just gonna protect Moonblast here. Yeah, to make Rock Slide spread damage. I mean, you need a flinch here to win. Even if you flinch this turn, you also need a double Rock Slide connect next turn. The odds are in our favor, but with Rock Slide, there's always a way. But we actually end up dodging it, so that should seal it up. Yep. And Moonblast is just a KO. That's got to be one of the more bizarre games we've played in a while. Like, I don't know. My opponent just really liked going for double protects. I felt like they didn't really need to. And not attacking with Urshifu there was questionable. Oh, actually, well, you should be faster with Urshifu under Tailwind against us, right? Unless, like, they had slow Urshifu for some reason, and they were like, okay, but, like, do you not have Aqua Jet on there? Because if you have Aqua Jet, you should just Aqua Jet Rock Slide into the Coalossal slot. So, yeah. I guess it didn't end up mattering because we ended up getting flinch with that slot anyway, so it's not like it was actually super relevant. You would have maybe needed to target the Primarina slot instead. Actually, that would have been the play, yeah. If you target the Primarina slot, maybe you put me in KO range from another Rock Slide, but that was not how I expected this first game to play out, where, like, I somehow get Coalossal activated under Trick Room and then bring out Weavile to surf outside of Trick Room. But it worked. So we take those, I guess. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Another Talonflame? This is not a Virizion-friendly day. Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. That's a hecking cool team from my opponent, though. Torracat, too. I feel like I'm playing WBE right now. Can I bring Virizion? Maybe. I just don't think it's a great idea. What about just Weavile Coalossal? One thing when playing with this team, you always have to ask, like, how does my opponent beat Weavile Coalossal? I think the answer is, like, Talonflame, Tsareena, Rotom. Or sorry, Talonflame, Tsareena, Inteleon, like a combo of those. I could just try to set up Trick Room again. Primarina looks really good in this matchup. You could also go Weavile Tsareena. But then that kind of loses to Coalossal. You kind of have to lead the Inteleon. I think Inteleon comes out as a lead. I do. I'm going to go Weavile Primarina, Coalossal, Ferrothorn. Which is weird because I'm not bringing Trick Room. But the idea, like, Primarina's pretty good against most of my opponent's team. Weavile pressures with Fake Out. One thing that's always interesting is that Talonflame, even though you have Gale Wings, a Fake Out obviously just shuts the Gale Wings down immediately. And if you have Protect on Talonflame, the max move will also get rid of it for the subsequent turn. So Inteleon Rhyperior, which honestly I don't mind. I mean, I feel like Primarina's in a great spot here. Though I'm curious how this was going to beat. Oh, yeah, actually, no. This was... I should have brought Virizion. Would have been good against these. But honestly, Primarina is also in a fantastic spot, so I can't really complain. I honestly want to go out into Ferrothorn here, like max and just Overgrowth into the Inteleon. I think you're more likely to max the Rhyperior in this situation, but I don't want to risk it. I could totally see a Rockfall coming out right now, and I think Ferro is such a good switch-in. It's super free. And this, while I'm maxing Primarina kind of early, what this allows me to do is also potentially... Okay, they switch Rhyperior out, which is fine by me, into Tsareena. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I did just put up the terrain for Tsareena, though. They do max Inteleon, though, so like I get a huge Overgrowth off against it. Pharaoh's gonna win in this late game. I am gonna click Iron Defense this next turn with it. Because Pharaoh's just gonna destroy Tsareena and Rhyperior already after a single Iron Defense, especially with lefties and Protect. And with the Assault Vest, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. The only problem is that I'd be setting up grassy terrain, so my opponent can pretty safely go for a grass-type attack onto the Primarina slot. So much to the point where I'm considering switching Primarina out just so that I can conserve a Hyper Voice or Hydro Cannon for Rhyperior in the late game. I'm just sad because we haven't really been able to use like the main combos of like Weavile, Coalossal, Weavile, Virizion as a lead. They're just going to Airstream, but that's fine. Yeah, and a Primarina. And look how little damage we take from that. Solve's Primarina is just so tanky. If I made the decision to like not max there and just Energy Ball, maybe that would have been better. It's Life Orb and Inteleon too. Like that did 60 damage as a Life Orb max move. Not very strong. Get max Overgrowth off. It's almost a one-hit KO. Wow. So honestly begs the question of whether I should switch Primarina out. I also... I don't know if... I don't think... I think you need a double up on a Primarina to KO it, though, so I think we'll stay in. Does my opponent have any Fire-type Pokemon? Torracat and... I'm going to Iron Defense this turn. And Overgrowth into... Actually, we don't need Overgrowth. We should actually probably Strike. Yeah. Because any attack's going to knock out Inteleon right now. Oh, they max guarded. Okay. I don't mind that too much. Oh, Power Whip does get the one-hit KO, though. Wow. I underestimated Tsareena's damage output a little bit there, but that's fine, because I think we win the game with Weavile anyway. Yeah, that's the only reason we didn't want to set up Terrain turn 1. So maybe switching there could have been worthwhile, but then I'd still need to knock out Tsareena. So I can bring in Weavile now. I can't Fake Out because of Queenly Majesty, so I want to keep that in mind. I think it's fine here to just go for Body Press onto Inteleon and just triple Axle into Tsareena. Yeah. They're going to Airstream again, yeah. So this will allow them to outspeed us next turn, or this turn. So if you're my opponent, I think a double up is pretty likely here into the... I wonder if it's Sniper Inteleon. Probably, right? So Tsarena's speedy now, and I don't get the combo off either. But I still have Coalossal, which can just Heat Wave it, which is still valuable. Oh, Tsarena's still not even faster. Wow, okay. Does Triple Axle just KO here? Because if so, I think we just win the game. Oh, it does. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's why you use Weavile over Sneasel. We just got a 1-8 KO there. That's beautiful. The problem with using Sneasel is that it just does no damage, like, at all. So it's like you're relegated to basically saying, okay, I'm using this only for support. Yeah, Tsareena being... I mean, Weavile is one of the fastest Pokemon in the format, so I guess I shouldn't be super surprised. I thought Tsareena would outspeed us after 2 Airstreams, but the fact that it doesn't is huge. We just pick up 2 knockouts. It's Talonflame in the back. Okay. Unless you're Overheat. That's my one fear. Power Whip just one-shots Rhyperior with Grassy Terrain, I'm pretty sure. I still have to think about this because I have Coalossal in the back, which isn't great, right? I'm at +2 defense though, so shouldn't take that much damage. Do you go for a Tailwind? Maybe just a Brave Bird and a Weavile makes a lot of sense here, actually. So I think I want to Power Whip into Rhyperior and switch Weavile out into Coalossal because then I can bring Weavile back in for a Fake Out. Unless you're Overheat Talonflame, which some people... If I were running Talonflame, actually I would run to beat Ferrothorn specifically. But they opted for Taunt, which I think is actually, like, the worst option. And Rock Slide, which actually enables our weakness policy as well. Okay. Nice. Although if I just stayed in and gone for Triple Axle onto Talonflame, would we have won? Maybe. Let's see if Power Whip connects here. Oh, we flinch! We flinch! That's a bad flinch. That's a very bad flinch. Oh, man. Okay. Well, they don't know I have Power Whip, so I'm still just going to go for Power Whip and Heat Wave here. But that's a little frustrating. That being said, with the Iron defense, I don't think you really KO us. They're just going to opt for Flare Blitz immediately, which is fine by me, because now you don't have your Gale Wings. That does not KO us. Unless you have Fire Punch on Rapier, I'm pretty sure Pharaoh hangs on, and we should be good anyway. And look how much recoil it takes, too. Okay, he is just Earthquaking. Let's see. We should survive this. Oh, yeah, no problem. Okay. Come on, Ferrothorn. Please just hit this. Maybe I should have Body Pressed instead. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, but the thing is, I don't think another... Like, I don't think you KO anyway with another EQ. But I just lost Terrain. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think we KO anymore. That's... It is the last of a taunt, though. Oh, you know what's actually such an interesting move right now? Self-targeting myself. I'm gonna Axle to KO Talonflame. I mean, if Axel doesn't KO Talonflame, we actually just lose. They're going to EQ. Oh, I just can't believe, man. I had to go for Power Whip, though, because Body Press isn't going to KO. Yeah, so I'm gonna go for the self-target, because if I Power Whip here, I'm just going to activate Weakness Policy and we lose. They protected? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I end up knocking out my own Weavile, but that's also fine. Because Taunt wears off now. Also, their Talonflame... Okay, I was going to say, unless this doesn't KO, but yeah, it does KO. So the reason I self-targeted myself there was because I'm taunted, right? So I have to go for an attack, and if I just Power Whip... I don't know why they Tailwind protected there. That was kind of odd. But because we're at +2 defense now, like, I can just protect. Heal back a lot. Yeah, and taunt wears off. I mean, in retrospect, had I just... Like, I don't understand that play from their end. Because, like, Ice Crush is never knocking out Rhyperior. So, I still feel okay about my play, because, once again, if you just attack with both Pokemon, and I knock out Talonflame, I activate Weakness Policy right here, and then after I activate Weakness Policy... Oh, they have Super Power, though. Does that KO us after +2? I don't know. I think it might. Okay, given that they have Super Power, then I might actually have to Power Whip. Initially, my plan was just to Iron Defense up, because they'll have a Defense drop. Okay, they go for Super Power. Can we survive? Oh, please, Ferrothorn. Just hit the Power Whip. I'm begging you. Please. Okay, that's got to be enough right after the defense drop. Talk about a game, dude. Wow. Oh my god, the flinch into the miss was so scary, but we still clutched it out there in the end. We take those. Ferrothorn is a clutch Pokemon, dude. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so once again, to explain the logic behind the self-target, yeah, so Sash Taunt, AV Tsareena, Inteleon, Protect Superpower, Hearthstone, interesting. Citrus with Ally Switch, Eerie Impulse, and then... So Torracat needed to come out to beat Ferrothorn. Alright, I'll play one more game, but wow, that second match was actually insane. Yeah, so once again, the logic behind the self-target is I have to attack in that turn. If I go for triple axle, like I need to knock out Talonflame too, because if I don't knock out Talonflame, it's just going to KO Ferrothorn the subsequent turn. However, I think my opponent actually messed up. I don't think they needed to Tailwind, because they were faster than the Weavile. All they needed to do was Flare Blitz into Ferrothorn. I thought Weavile would outspeed the Talonflame, so I was surprised by that. Are we max speed? Yeah, we are. Okay. Yeah, so I was surprised by that. So my opponent, they had taken damage, right? So Gale Wings was broken? I thought Talonflame's base speed is what? A little bit higher? So if they're Jolly instead of Adamant, yeah. They should have just Flare Blitzed, I think, in that position into Ferrothorn. I was expecting to outspeed them anyway. So then I was like, well, Ferro, if I target them, it's just going to activate Policy, and I lose if Policy goes up. Sableye Charizard. And Zolt. I don't think today's a Virizion day, unfortunately. Because I have to worry about Charizard. I don't have Rockfall for it. I think it's got to be Coalossal. But that's the thing. Like, you can always go one of Virizion or Coalossal. Because one of the two is going to be incredible. Sableye concerns me a little bit here, though. Sableye Zolt looks really bad, actually. I don't like this. I'm going Weavile Coalossal, but I don't think that's the right approach. Yeah, I think Sableye Zolt is actually a really good lead from my opponent's end, and I don't know what our best answer is against that, especially if you have Quake on Zolt. I don't think we have any good lead against that, actually. At least Weavile can triple Axle into Dracozolt, right? And I could protect Coalossal turn 1. They go Sableye Charizard, though. I'd rather see that. Okay, the question here is whether you have max Quake on Charizard, but I don't even know if that one-shots Coalossal. I think Weavile's never gonna get a fake out off here, so I might as well just swap out. I'm going to Primarina. Do I need to swap? This is where I wish I had Aqua Jet. Going to Primarina, Max, and just Vocalith. What can Charizard switch out into? Nothing that good. Yeah. I don't know. I do feel like if you're leading this, you're going to have Quake on the Charizard. So, yeah, like, today was just not a Virizion day. It's not going to be great in a lot of matchups, but in the matchups it's good and it can sweep. We're going to max Charizard. I mean, ideally, my opponent goes for Fake Out, Volcalit, or sorry, Wildfire into the Sableye slot. Not the Sableye slot, the Weavile slot. Oh god, I didn't think about Trick Eject Button. I think that's actually going to happen right now. It's... Oh no, we're going to get tricked. We're going to get tricked. Oh, I should have baited out the... I should have at least just protected turn 1, regardless. Because Max Primarina is really good against my opponent's team, too, so it's not like I need to pull the trigger immediately. There's no, like... There's no way I just get a Volcalit off here unless... Like, you have to have Quake or Trick here, right? Maybe both. Okay, they just Quash. It does have Quake. Does this one-shot us? Probably. Oh... You're so good. Coalossal. Yeah, I thought we'd survive, but then I was like, if my opponent's going for that play, does it just KO us? Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Getting rocks off is just so good. Getting the Volcalit off is so good. And if you watch the Players' Cup Finals, like, which if you haven't, you should definitely check it out because it was a masterful performance on how to use Coalossal. Santino, the player that won the Players' Cup Finals, played so aggressively with Coalossal in the final 2 matches, and like he would trade his Coalossal just to get Volcalit off, and it was so smart. Now, it worked for him in that set because by getting the Volcalit off, he also had ways to deal with like big Dynamax threats, like he had Choice Band Rillaboom for Primarina, for example. And wow, they actually have Dracozolt. I guess they brought it because they're like, otherwise I just can't even touch the Primarina, which honestly makes a lot of sense. Okay. I'm gonna go out into Weavile. Because if I go on a Weavile, then I can just Fake Out. Alternatively... Does Sableye have Foul Play? That's the other question. Because like Weavile having Triple Axle here actually can just knock out Dracozolt. So... I think it might be better just to attack here, honestly. And Max Guard. Yeah. Even if you miss the Primarina... Oh, they actually protect. Okay. I don't mind that. I mean, you just gave me another free turns of G-Max Volcalit damage. I think Sableye's Foul Playing here? Maybe Snarl? Yeah, it does have Foul Play. Okay. So that's Foul Play. That's fine. Okay, you have Foul Play. Here, I would think you want to go for an electric type attack, so I think we go out into Dusclops. Yeah, let's conserve Primarina, because Primarina does hard win against everything else my opponent has in the back. I actually maybe should have switched out last turn. And I'll go for a Volcalit here. Because then, after all these rock damage, I can bring out Weavile and just Triple Axle. Weavile's actually been incredible for us today, like even from an offensive end. Citrus Berry. It's Policy Zolt. Wow. Okay. Volbeat does connect. Oh, we're faster than Sableye. Okay. Well, given that we're faster, I think that should be the game. I didn't think we'd be faster for some reason. Nice. So, this is my problem with Sableye in the format. It kind of has, like, the syndrome where it just is really bad after the first 2 turns, right? You're going to run, like, Fake Out Quash, Sunny Day. If my opponent actually went Sunny Day Max Quake turn 1, they would have wrecked us because then we would have fainted. But I thought that was relatively unlikely because you have to respect me surfing turn 1. So you have to either Quash or Fake Out into the Weavile slot. Yeah, let's go out into Weavile now because we can get a free Fake Out onto whatever's coming in and get more rocks damage off. It's going to be Urshifu. Okay, with Primarina in the back, I think this should be over then. Primarina should beat both of these. Okay. I believe we have one more turn of G-Max Volcalit as well. Yep, which is very nice. So I think we just... I don't even know if we Fake Out Urshifu here, actually. You could... Oh, you can't Quash Weavile. Yeah. You can't Quash that. It is fighting Dark Urshifu. I mean, I think just Nightshade and Triple Axle into Sableye is fine, especially because I think you might want to protect the Urshifu here. Yeah, nice. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm sad because we didn't bring Virizion at all today, but I think, if anything, these games highlight the strength of this team, where we didn't even go with like the conventional strategy, which is just lead Weavile plus Coalossal or Weavile plus Virizion. Honestly, Triple Axle does like insane amounts of damage. Like, that damage output is kind of crazy. Like one-shotting a Tsareena, just chipping away to the Sableye here. We didn't actually need to double up because Rock's damage, we're just going to finish it off anyway, but I didn't have a better play to go with on Dusclops there. I mean, I guess I could Trick Room to get Primarina in, but I also wasn't sure. I didn't think Triple Axle would do so much into the Sableye. So, yeah, now we can just Nightshade and go for Beat Up. As long as Primarina comes in, we can just Moonblast. I wish Beat Up had a cooler animation. I only went for it just to... That was kind of a troll. I should have just Triple Axled, but with Primarina in the back, there's no way we can lose this. They're going to CC into Weavile. Yeah, that's fine. Would have been safer to Triple Axled there, but I was curious how much Beat Up would potentially do against an Urshifu, although I don't know why that damage calc would ever be relevant, so there's no need to try to science it. But the reason why it doesn't matter is because I can just Trick Room now and Triple Axle. You can't knock out both Pokemon here. You can Sucker Punch one at best. And they actually Sucker Punch the Dusclops, which actually is the correct play, because you basically have to hope for me to miss. And Weavile is going to pick up another knockout in this game. Dude, Weavile was so good. It was actually so good. I didn't expect to use it like in offensive mode so much in this episode. But it worked out. These games were definitely kind of crazy. I mean, the first one was weird because I was like, wasted so many of my own Trick Room turns and then somehow got Coalossal activated. I do want to quickly double check Talonflame speed, because in the first game we outsped Talonflame, but in the second we didn't. And I'm pretty sure it's base, what, is it 126? Which is 1 point faster than Weavile? Yep. So in game 1, they were Adamant Talonflame, and in game 2, they were Jolly. So after my opponent taunted, I really think in game 2 they would have just won if they Flare Blitzed the Ferrothorn, because I can't even protect, and Tailwind doesn't accomplish anything in that position. So, granted, I think we would have won anyway if we didn't get flinched or missed the Power Whip earlier, but yeah, like, sometimes if you're put in bad positions, you have to rely on your opponent making like suboptimal plays, or just hoping. Like I thought Weavile would just be faster than Talonflame in that second game, but it wasn't, because it was max speed. So I was able to actually get the Tailwind off. But yeah, those were a crazy set of games, and I'm hoping... Coalossal was really good for us today, right? We maxed it pretty much every game, so at least you can see once again how Coalossal works in Series 6. Once again, this Pokemon's really, really good. There's a reason why I won the Players' Cup Finals, so you should definitely respect it. But yeah, hopefully we get some Virizion games in the next episode. Either way, though, I will say just having Virizion in Team Preview alone is really important, because once again, it scares off some of the biggest threats to Coalossal, or if your opponent doesn't respect it, you could potentially just leave Virizion. For example, in the game against Inteleon, we actually maybe... no, Inteleon had Airstream, so never mind. Virizion would have got it ducked on anyway, so that wasn't the right approach. Yeah, we just ran into like 2 Talonflames, and that's just very anti-Virizion, so hopefully next episode, not as many of those, but definitely some fun set of games today, so I hope you enjoyed. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Alright, peace.